scope of grief and wasted human potential, we have a moral obligation to understand the ultimate reasons why we destroy one another.
Hi guys, welcome back to... Is that my telephone voice? No. Right, let's do that again. Hi guys, welcome back to BurnMyMood podcast. It's your host, Podcast Jay. We use the word podcast as a stage name to sort of put into perspective. One, I'm actually doing that for SEO reasons because the podcast market is saturated. And secondly, to sort of like highlight that this is a character. Don't get me wrong, this is exactly who I am, but do I have this much energy to talk? No, let me redo that. Every person you see on camera is a character, even if they are themselves. No one has this much energy and this much chat 24/7. Don't get me wrong. If you met me, I probably do have this much chat, and most people would say I have this much chat, but unless I've smoked weed, which I don't do, but when I used to, that used to shut me up. Anyway, don't know why we went into that tangent. Is that blurry? Fuck knows. Anyway, as you know, still learning, still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I love a little chit chat with myself and with guests. So, as you know, I have decided, as you can tell throughout the whole series, from the first episode, which was just me reintroducing the pod, that was filmed after all of them, right? And I filmed that because I wanted to sort of tie together an understanding of why all the episodes are quite different. They become, like, slowly over time, they come to have a bit of structure. But as you know, I just wanted to be really transparent, show you my journey, instead of wasting other people's time and missing out opportunities to have people on the pod for valuable, meaningful conversations. Connection to me is so important, and I feel like when I have guests on, I am the most connected, and it really does make me quieter. Like, I could talk for England, but when I'm learning about someone else, it's probably the only time I actually shut up a little bit. And as you can tell from the journey of the first episode, I just wanted to just do it. Because if I don't just do it, how am I ever going to know how I want to do it? How am I ever going to know what it is? Like what sort of path I want to go down and stuff. So I knew in my mind that I wanted to do a guest series. I actually wanted it to be a guest podcast the whole time, but not many people had a lot of faith in me. So I did a solo series first. Then I didn't even sign off the first series because life's busy and I don't owe anybody anything. Truthfully, there was a lot of people who asked me if I was okay, what was going on, which was so kind, and I appreciate you all so much for reaching out and actually seeing if I was alright. Answer was I wasn't, right? So that's why it's taken a year and a bit to release the next series. I've also decided, and this might change in the future, I wouldn't hold me to this. I'm a girl that is always late, right? I am always late. It might be a couple minutes, it might be an hour, it might be 20 minutes. Rarely am I early. So when I put a time frame on things, like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast every week, it became very unrealistic, especially with like the lifestyle that I have. And don't get me wrong, I do work like a normal job, but outside of my normal job, my lifestyle is not that relatable, I don't think. Unless you're with someone who is super creative, or strives for more in life, and doesn't like rest that much. I mean, I do like rest like that much, and so does my partner, but it's just the way we're wired. We don't have much rest. So when you're busy all the time, you don't tend to just... I don't know where I was going with all that. This is why I need a guest, because it makes me remember where I was at. When I'm talking about myself, I'm just like cricket noises. But yeah. I thought I would do this episode to sort of sign off the first series. I was actually going to include all the episodes to make it longer. But I decided that what I'm going to do, and this, like I said, this may change. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do mini-series, possibly every 6 months, unless I have loads of episodes. But just life is so busy at the moment. I would rather do them in short series, perfect them, learn how to do all the social media stuff to market it. And also, I get a lot of demand to still do solo episodes. So I think I'm also going to do some solo episodes, maybe mini solo series in between guest series. But I just don't want to get anyone on the podcast. Do you know what I mean? I want to... I can't explain what it is I want. I want to be able to bring people onto the pod that I feel like influence me, I admire, and who I think have valuable things to share to others. So for me, I don't want to just get anybody on the pod, which is why I will, like, sometimes I'll put like on Instagram story, like, is anyone available to film? But obviously I'm only going to pick people who are fitting into my idea at that time. Whereas next time I do that, sometimes the same person will be like, I'll do it, and I'm like, yeah, you'd be perfect for that episode, but just I have this vision and I don't know how to explain it, but I know what I want to do and I'm going to do it anyway. And sometimes it'll be a good thing, sometimes it'll be a bad thing, but for me it'll be a good thing every time because I've done it the way I've wanted to. I'm in control of my directing. No, I'm not looking after actors. I don't know, creativity? I wouldn't really call this that creative though. I'm not making much. I literally talking into a mic, speaking my mind, which is dangerous, and recording it. The most creative part is chopping it up. And to be fair, if anyone watched the last episode, all I'm saying is that episode with Tommy, that was so good because I barely had to edit it. I just knew what was going on. I knew the way I wanted things to flow. He was a great guest as well, which made it so much better. But I just jumped in, filmed it, stuck my short ad in it. I think I only cropped out like 2 little things, and they were like things where they've said, crop this. And I'm like, cool, because that's what I do. I make people feel comfortable and I crop little things out. But I feel like when I film, and I've got Becca with me, so I don't know if I've already mentioned this. Probably, I don't know, but I'm going to repeat myself a lot. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I brought my friend Becca onto the team to help me film. It's alright when I'm doing a solo pod because I can literally watch the computer in front of me and I'm literally got the camera lens the lens is there and then the screen's there, turn around so I can see myself. I'm a bit unfocused. It's fine. But this is fucking chaos, isn't it? Sorry. Right. That was a terrible note, by the way. But yeah, so I brought Becca onto the team, and what's so exciting about that is because she gets me, she knows what it is that I want to do, and because she's learning and I'm learning, so like we're both learning together. Does that make sense? Like neither of us have done this before, neither of us really know what we're doing, but I've got the vision, and I'm just like, each episode, or, you know, if I learn something, I'll just say, okay, watch this. What it is as well is when you have guests and you haven't got a team of people, it's really, really difficult to not stress about the equipment. As you've learned from a couple of my episodes in this season, technical difficulties happen all the fucking time, right? So I need someone to keep an eye on it so that I don't stress about it, because it really throws me off. I forget what we were talking about, and like one of the episodes I didn't even know there's a technical difficulty. So thank God my partner knows about all this stuff. I'm really sorry about that. I hope I didn't have the mic close to that. So yeah, Becca's really supporting me at the moment, and I'm really excited to get more in depth about everything. I've got a lot of super deep solo episodes coming out, but we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that in a bit. So, summary of the episodes. I absolutely love having guests. I actually love it so much. It brings out the best of me. I try my best to bring the best out of them. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel like I just ask the right things and it just brings out the best of people. People really like be themselves, say exactly what they mean, which is really, really nice. And I'm quite a judge-free person, so people feel like they can quite like open up to me, which is the best, because honestly I just love having connections with people and getting to know people on a much deeper level, and what they truly think, because social media makes us think that everyone's a certain way, everyone's judging us, everyone's thinking this, when truthfully they're not, except for cyberbullies, which is another thing I feel like I should address. I was literally scrolling through TikTok today, and you know that what's that TikToker's name? She's so famous on there. She got married not so long ago. I think it's Eden Harvey. She's really, really, really pretty, right? And truthfully, I see a lot of her content, and I see less of it now, to be fair. Don't know what's going on with my algorithm, but I love all the stuff she posts. She's just so herself. She's very good at what she does, and she gets so much hate, like unbelievably. It's so relentless. And I literally was scrolling so far because she posted a video about how it was really upsetting her and getting to her, and I thought, that is so hard to do, that I couldn't cry on camera. Like, it is so hard to do. You've either got to be in a really low place, or that's it. There is no or. And I feel like people have bullied her to make her feel that way. Like, she's got thick skin. There is no way a couple of hate comments are going to make her feel that way. Like, it's got to be a huge level of it. Anyway, so what really bothers me is that I found pages, like, literally directed to shredding her apart. Like, I found a page where it was literally so in depth about how much they hated her, how she was doing XYZ. Like, I found clips, and like sometimes I've seen some of those lives, so I'm like, that's literally her sense of humour. Like, that's not a fucking gospel statement. What the hell's wrong with you? But anyway, I commented on a couple of them, like, you know, something along the lines of, I mean, it's going to make me sound like an arsehole now. I think I said something like, get a hobby, get a job, and stop being a bully, basically. Like, do something else. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And these people, literally like 3-4 people under each comment, are like defending why she's such a bad person when she's not. How does that make sense? Like, how... I'm literally talking about how they're all bullying this person, and they're defending their bullying with further bullying. That's not even the worst part, right? The worst part is that something needs to change, right? Something needs to change, because it literally causes tons and tons of suicides. It really does. I reported these pages, especially... So I think I literally made a TikTok about it as well, because I was so pissed off. I was ranting. So there is these pages that are just directly hating on her, shredding her to pieces. Like, they're all screen recorded. Nothing's duetted, stitched, or whatever. It's all screen recordings. So she's obviously tried to avoid that, which is something you shouldn't have to do, but people are fucking assholes. Anyway, so I reported these pages, and the thing that I found really interesting is that these pages only directly harm her. Not that it would make it any better if it was like a group of people they were targeting. I just think it's worse that it's just her. And I reported it to TikTok, and I said, this is hate, harassment, bullying, right? Within like minutes, they responded, no violation. No violation. Ugh! What do you mean, no violation? Anyway. So if you didn't catch my recent series, and this is the first episode you're viewing, hello, I am a very open person, oversharer, of course, and I just want to put out there a lot of positive stuff. I'm tired of seeing negative stuff. I'm tired of people feeling like they haven't got a lead. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know if I knew what I wanted in life, it would be a lot easier to work towards it. But the problem I have is that I never knew what I wanted to do. It was only until I actually got suggested doing a podcast and I didn't even know what it was. Do you know what I mean? So I never had a clue what this was. I never even heard a podcast before. It was only when I started listening to podcasts and more people would suggest it that I was like, I actually think I like that. I actually think I could do that. And I don't know if it's going to be a career or a hobby. I'm hoping it'll be a career. I'm hoping I can have loads of podcasts. And I'm hoping I can have a show where I have a co-host and stuff like that. But for now, I just want to keep this podcast to introduce people that inspire me, that I think would lead this current generation in the right footsteps. Because the generation of youngsters right now terrify me, like actually terrify me. And I've noticed a lot of youngsters as well don't want to work, and don't get me wrong, none of us want to fucking work, love, but we have to. So a lot of people don't want to work, they haven't got the motivation, they don't look after themselves, they don't want to be healthy, and it's so scary, it's so dangerous. And there's so much bullying, and there's so much evil, and they've grown up with just social media. Whereas I grew up till about 12, 13, and then social media sort of become super big and everyone had it. So there was a couple of years before that where you'd have a couple things, but it really weren't that deep. Like, I think I had MSN at like 10, and that was the most you could do. It was kind of like texting. It wasn't really a social media. Whereas now, there is so... you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of harmful shit out there, and I feel like I just want to be able to, if someone goes, oh, I want to learn more about that person because they inspire me, well, I've recorded an episode so you can get to know them a bit better, see what their view is on life, what their advice is to follow in their footsteps, etc. Obviously, a lot of the podcast I like to speak about mental health because we all have it, so let's address it. And what people define as independence, that's a really important thing to me. That's more of a personal question. It's quite a selfish one. Just because I've always been super independent. I'm probably less independent now than I've ever been. But I've always been so independent, had to do everything by myself. And it's not because I wanted to, it's because I fucking had to. So it's a different kind of independence, I guess. And some people understand what I mean. But yeah, so a lot of my episodes explore topics such as like mental health, independence, ego death, anxiety, depression, panic attacks. Sometimes we discuss certain things such as fitness and getting into social media. A lot of the people I interview on this podcast are from the creative industry, which I think is really cool because I never really... I never really tried to be creative in my whole life, apart from as a child. Like, I loved doing creative shit as a child, but I didn't know you could fucking make a life out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally started painting in like January, and I was like, I actually am not a half bad fucking painter, if I do say so myself. I could show you some, but I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know. But yeah, so a lot of people on my series have travelled, worked abroad. They can give you good advice on how to get to that point where you go travelling for a while, or where you go on like I can't remember what it's called now. I think I was talking to George about it. I don't know, it's like a package that sort of guides you as you go travelling, or you can do it like Daisy where you do it pretty independently. And even Jason used to go abroad every year to Zankifios, or however you say that, Santi. And he would work in the party life and have a great time for months, and he really enjoyed it as well. So there's a lot of different avenues for that, and if anyone wants to know more about that, go check out the episodes. And I also have had guests on who are really big in social media, where they're the face of their brand, and or like Tommy does interviews. So I truly think all these creative individuals, especially the music artists, they do have their own battles and their own pressures. But truthfully, if you want to get more of like a raw, what's it called? More like a raw understanding. You know what I mean? Where you want to learn more about it. Or maybe you just find it interesting. You know what I mean? So give it a listen and let me know what you think. If you haven't already, please go on to each episode. I don't know what it's like on every platform, to be perfectly honest, but I know on Spotify you click the download button. Don't think it takes that much space in your phone. I don't even think it downloads it to your phone, but I wouldn't actually know. But I do it. I download my own episodes and hope for the best. I'm like, come on, Team J, hashtag BurnMyMood podcast. But yeah, so I find that on Spotify you need to click the download button. I think it's Apple, actually. You have to click 5-star. Well, you don't have to click 5, but please click 5. Please. If you're going to leave a review, at least make it a good one. Please. So you heard my asthma in that laugh. Yeah, so if you could leave a 5-star review, make a little comment about it, because if you leave a review and add your like Instagram at, or say where I can find your profile on whatever platform, I'll give you a message to elaborate on your point. Like if you have any questions or suggestions, I'll probably want to talk to you about it. And if you don't put any details there, I won't have any way to message you, so I'll still appreciate the feedback. I just I know what sort of I want to do, so I'm probably going to interview a lot more artists just because I am surrounded by them, and like I just find them so inspiring because their way of thinking is so different to what my normal is. And I don't know, if you know anybody else that's in the music industry or creates music, you'll notice that they are just wired differently. They really are. And I just find them inspiring. So I'd love to talk more to some artists, maybe even get the boyfriend on the pod. And I want to interview a lot more creative individuals, because they just inspire me and I want to learn about them so that I can learn more about, you know, the industries and what I could possibly be inspired by. Because truthfully, this whole podcast could just be to help me find my identity, because I do struggle with that. I have a serious identity issue. And to be honest, I know what my qualities are, because I speak about this in therapy. I know what my qualities are, and I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm bad at. Is that my identity? I don't know. Currently, this is my identity, but you can't really call yourself a podcaster if you haven't really put anything out for a year. Do you know what I mean? So once I put that out, you sort of choose your own identity. I know that, and I feel like a lot of people that I know their identity, whereas I don't really. So I feel like the more I talk to people, the more I'm going to learn about myself and learn about them, and just share those experiences, have true, real human connections, because I don't want to speak to AI robot on Snapchat. Do you know what I mean? I want a real person. So yes. But yeah, if you'd like to know more about how to navigate your 20s, because I'm pretty sure so far most people I've had on this series are in their 20s. So I appreciate you all so much for listening and keeping up with my absolutely chaotic, different personality every episode podcast. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a solo series. If you have any suggestions on what it is you would like me to talk about, I'm going to do another episode elaborating on quitting smoking weed, just because that was one of my most popular episodes. It's actually had hundreds of views, and I don't think I had the right structure in that episode to encourage people to talk more about it. So hopefully I can get some people to talk about it more, and I can go into much more detail. I also want to speak on abortion. So I understand that will be a trigger. I will call it like my abortion, because, and I know that seems like such an oversharing thing, but I feel like I'm ready to talk about it. So I might do an episode or two speaking about that, because I really found it difficult, and the resources out there were useful in some ways, but not informative enough in others. I felt like the things I was Googling and trying to speak about were not there. So now that I'm sort of over it, it's been 7 months now, I think I'm ready to talk about it more. Will I talk about grief yet? Maybe. We'll see. Maybe ask me questions related to grief, and that will help me get kickstarted to talk about it. Because that's really hard, because I lost 2 friends this year, which is really fucking upsetting and a bit inconvenient, to be honest. It's just upsetting. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to address and talk about. I'm probably going to do another How to Live Alone episode, throw it back to the beginning, because that's a really popular episode as well. And the difference is me and my boyfriend actually not long moved into a new house. We've had nothing but drama here, but, you know, we had a fire, we had squatters. What else could possibly go wrong? We haven't had a hob for 2 months. Yeah, we had a gas leak the other day. Honestly, it's literally been less than 3 months we've lived here. Yeah. And in those 3 months, literally the first day is when I lost one of my friends. So that's fucking fabulous. So yeah, it's been really fucking hard. But, you know, I'm going to be real about it. I'm happy to talk about it. But yeah. Oh, I hate when lipstick does that. Look, I only put pink lipstick on, right, because my lips are so, what's it called, camouflage into my face. Looks like I've got like my bottom lip's alright. I don't mind my bottom lip, but my top lip is like this, right? When I'm not wearing lipstick, it looks like this. There's just no need for it, is there? So, if I put lipstick on, it helps a little. It doesn't do much, but it helps. And if I wasn't such a pussy, and I'm not so paranoid about plastic in my body, I'd probably have lip fillers, to be honest. But I'm too paranoid. Do you know what I mean? I stopped taking hay fever medication because it made me drowsy, and after I had the abortion, it scared me to even take contraception, because I'm like, oh, I don't want hormones in my body. So now I'm so fucking anxious all the time. Yeah. But I'm in therapy, so it's fine. I'm also going to do an episode about therapy, I think. I'm making all these promises. Wonder if I'll follow through. But no, if you message me and comment on this episode, I will give you guys what you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am a delivering woman, quite literally. That is my job. I deliver vehicles for the film industry. So yeah. I'll keep this ad break short for you guys so you can keep listening. High stress, pressure, and changes to your life causes our mind to spiral out of control. OCD, anxiety, panic attacks. I obsessively worry about my health, even when doctors tell me I'm okay. I know we all experience something similar. We need to reconnect with ourselves, practice TLC. Because of the dramatic changes throughout lockdown, I became obsessed with finding natural remedies. Research the use of incense, the visual meditation, the grounding calming scent. I offer a variety of high-class plant-based remedies that are made with essential oils, like candles, and vegan, eco-friendly bathroom treats. I don't just encourage the use of aromatherapy. I have the perfect get up and go playlist in my link tree. Whatever works for you, reconnects you with yourself. Choose to be happy. Go to burnmymood.co.uk. After all that natter, I thought I would just have a really short little chat about my journey with TikTok at the moment. So in light of having a TikToker and people who work on social media all the time, I thought I would share my own little experience. So I have been making TikToks for about what, 2-3 years, maybe. Deleted loads of them so many times, and I've stopped doing that now. Okay, if a video just doesn't go on the For You page, you can sort of tell. If it's been like 6 days, you can look at your statistics and it'll tell you if it's gone on the For You page. And sometimes it's just a glitch, sometimes it's a blip, and I'm like, okay, that's fucking sad and unfair because it was a fucking good video. But if it wasn't that good, if even my own followers didn't like it, so I think I worded that wrong, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so I'll just private them, which is still not the right thing to do. You should leave everything up because they all actually continue getting views. So say for instance one video does really well, it will actually trickle and loads of your other videos will be pushed because they've liked it. So I thought I would share some of my hot tips and tricks that I have learned on my journey. Now, first of all, if you know who you are and you know your niche, by niche I mean a audience of people who you are targeting to. So even if your niche is fucking massive, right? Like you have a huge group of people, say people in their 20s or just girls or just boys, you need to target basically a personality. That's my interpretation of it. That's my advice anyway. So I would target a personality. So I actually follow someone from Milton Keynes who's fucking really good at it. And this girl, she targets basically people who hate men, right? Not literally hate men, but like who are damaged by shitty boyfriends or whatever. And her page does really well, and I've watched her go from basically the same views as me to huge views across all of her TikTok page because all of her videos are so similar. Like they're all about being sort of like an independent boss ass bitch with sort of like a frowning look on men. Not to say that she literally hates men. I'm not like sexist in that way. But I mean more like, you know, like when a boy hurts you and you're like, right, I'm never dating anyone ever again. That sort of mentality. You're just like, oh, all men are this, all men are that. Obviously they're not all that bad. But that is her humour on her TikTok. And her page does really well. So on my page, I don't really know, right? My niche is non-existent because I don't actually think there's that many people like me. I think a lot of people share similar qualities, which is why a lot of my videos do well, but a lot of them don't because they're not similar. So what I find is if I do the format the same, then my TikToks do better. Whereas if I do different formats about the same thing, it doesn't do as well. Whereas, so for example, on my page, if I have a trending audio, so I follow a lot of like social media coaches and managers. If I use a trending audio, shorter clip with, and when I say short clip, I mean less than 10 seconds, maybe 6 seconds. That's my special number. Even though I don't always stick to it, that is my most successful video. And it's got like the whole screen of writing. So people have to read that, and they're going to do that in more than 6 seconds. So you've had replay already. If they like it, they're going to hit like, and they would have had about 2 to 3 replays before they've read the whole message. Do you know what I mean? So my biggest video got to like 5.1 million views to date. So today I'm filming, it is halfway through July, okay? And I literally, when that happened, my video got taken down. So I don't know if you've seen it. If I can stick a clip here, I will, but I'll describe it in case I can't. So basically, I'm making an outrageous comment. Something that's very taboo, no one talks about. I'm talking about periods, and I'm talking about the fact that boys, people, everyone lied to us, girls. Turns out, people can smell when you're on your periods. Yeah? Not everyone, but a huge fucking percentage. I'd say more than 50%. And I didn't know this, and it outraged me, so I made a post, and I tried talking about it, and my video didn't even get past 20 views, so I was like, oh, it's not even showing it to the For You page. And you know when people are like, oh, there's no such thing as shadow banning? There is, I just don't understand it, because some of my videos don't get pushed. A lot of my videos only get to 200 views. Like, they'll either take time to get there, or they'll get to 200 views in 20 seconds. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't. But I've made other accounts to try and test it, but I only test it when they take my videos down. Just because I'm going to work on the profile that's got the most followers. But, yeah. Anyway. So, I've been making videos for a long time, and a few of my videos got to like 1,000 views in the first year, and I was like, this is amazing, this is slow, right? And I thought, be consistent, post every day. My problem is that obviously I don't know my niche, I don't know my target audience. I know that I just want to find people like me. So, I know a lot of people that share the same qualities and have been through the same things, but I don't know if I think I'm learning to storytell better. I feel like I add too much details or not enough. So, obviously, if you're trying to follow in my footsteps, I would try and figure that out first. And try and add like a twist on it, like a bit of humour or something depressing or whatever. However you want to express it, that's what I would advise. Now, once my video went viral, because viral is apparently only like 1 million views, or like on TikTok it's like 250k is classed as viral. So 5.1 million, bitch. I was very fucking proud of that, but I don't have enough followers to earn money from it, so that was sad. So my goal with TikTok, I never really cared about it until I saw the value in its marketing purposes. You can tell I just chuck random words in it to make it sound smarter. I wanted to use that platform to grow awareness of my brand and who I am, so that people can get to know me, to sort of make people want to listen to the podcast, because most of the people, and I'm very fortunate and lucky for this, but most of the people that listen to my podcast are my friends, because a lot of my friends don't get to spend much time with me anymore, so they just wait for my podcast. And then now I'm like, why I don't know how to catch up with you because you're not releasing your podcast. So I am trying hard, okay? I'll make a lot more effort now, but yeah, I had a few wake-up calls that caused me to make more effort, which is, don't wait for the wake-up calls, that's all I'm saying. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So, brilliant thing with when you get a video that goes viral, your page gets a lot of traction, it trickles down, reply to the comments of videos, because they'll probably get like at least 50k views on them. I mean, a lot of mine got at least 10 to 20k. I think one of them got to like 90k, just from replying to the comments. Now, that, and that might be an over or underestimate, but, you know. What I would say, though, is you build such a good platform, because I got to over 1,000 followers, which has taken me nearly 3 years, right? I was stuck on like 500-600. It kept going up and people would unfollow and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the reason people would unfollow is because there's a lot of follow trains out there. I know that because I've tried that on Instagram, and Instagram, it works sometimes. When you're first building a brand, it does work, especially if you've got a very niche business like podcasts. So I follow loads of podcast pages, and if any of them are like dead accounts that haven't posted in years and never interacted with my account, or responded to anything I've commented on, then I realise they're probably not doing that, so I unfollow. I couldn't tell you why. I just look and research and analyse other people's accounts who are not like top successful, but like mid successful, who are like on that path to get very successful. So I try and follow in their footsteps by learning about their social media, because every social media brand, did you hear that when I said brand? A lot of social media brands work differently. So like if you're doing a fitness page, you sort of all support each other and repost each other's stuff, whereas in podcasting, it's very still fresh to social media. I think it's better just to post reels. Like I posted a lot of stuff, and I was posting for like 2 years, and truthfully I got a lot of feedback, but I've just realised I should probably just use it as a social media page, more of my personality, and then just put the videos up. Also, I did rebrand the podcast, so that's going to confuse everything, but, you know, for a guest series, it made more sense not to just call it Podcast J. I thought I would call it my OG brand, BurnMyMood, because it's catchy, I love it. It's so much easier to brand because it stands by all the values that with the business I started in the first place, and it still sells a lot of products. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't sell so much that I need to employ someone. Like, it's all very manageable and it's all like very minimal in the space of a week. But I've had like the same stock for over a year and I haven't had to order much more yet, so it's not as successful as I'm making out, but it still sells. So, you know, I'm going to utilize that in the future, because my organic search engine optimization is not half bad, actually. Now, back to what I was talking about with TikTok. What I have found as well, and I can't remember who it was, but someone gave me some really good advice. They said, create your own hashtag. Now, this was a blessing for the longest time until my video went viral. When my video went viral, like after like a month, everything died down really quickly. And then I just kept making videos. I kept being consistent because it was doing so well. And then because I had over 1,000 followers, I was going through my TikTok like settings basically, and I realized that I could just like tag products in a video, and I was like, well, affiliate marketing would be really useful when I have the podcast. So I thought I would just test different ways. So I bought one product off TikTok, right? I bought a little light that would be perfect to actually use because I don't want to order stuff I'm not going to actually use. So I ordered the little keyring light, and it's so bright, and literally I did a few videos on it, and the videos I put a lot of time and effort into showing how good it was and talking about how good it was, and the videos probably got like between 1 to 4 or 5,000 views each in between them all. And then I was in a petrol station at work, and I just saw like a picture of it being sold for like double the price. So I literally pulled my phone out, and obviously you've got to be really quick because you're not supposed to be on your phone at a petrol station. So I literally was like, oh my god, look at this, it's double the price what I'm selling it for. If you want it cheaper, get it in my link. And literally that video went fucking viral. That's got like 618k views to date, and I sold like 200 of them. So yeah, that was so successful, and half of my comments were people ripping the shit out of it, and I just thought, I don't care. Hey, comments. You're not talking about me. You're not talking about my appearance. You're not talking about my brand. You're not talking about anything that means anything to me. You're literally just slating the product, being like, oh, it's going to take like 4 years to come, or you'll get it off Alibaba for cheaper. And I was just like, yeah, but that's not the point, is it? The point is I've got it half price and it will come quicker than that. So, like, when you click on the product, you can see how quick it's going to come. It literally came within a couple of days. And I think I ordered a few things off TikTok since. I think the longest one thing took was like 2 weeks. But it tells you it's going to take that long. Like, it tells you if it's going to come the next day or in 2 weeks. Sometimes things come quicker. So yeah, like, I literally ordered this vase because my favourite art is like line art. You'll see it in my guest series on the table. It's like a metal statue of a face. That's my favourite art. And I intend to brand myself to make it easier, and hopefully we can see the results of this podcast brand, BurnMyMood, getting bigger by using that. You can actually see the line art faint in my current picture. Well, I say current picture, it's actually going to be my old picture because I'm going to create a new visual for the guest series and for my solo episodes. I've gone blank. I know we were talking about TikTok. But yeah, so with TikTok Shop, if you wanted to know more about it, to anyone that's new to it or wants to figure out how to get successful on it, I'm going to tell you my journey and tell you what went wrong in my journey and what's brought it back up. So never delete your videos. Biggest bit of advice. Keep them all. Make sure you obviously are happy for everything to go out, but don't delete anything. And there is a reason for that, and I'll get to it. So I had a video that used an item from TikTok Shop, went viral, sold loads of them. So now other companies and brands can see those statistics. I don't know how much of it they can see, but it tells you that they can see it. So when you are using TikTok Shop for creators, it basically has like an academy. It gives you really good advice. It's a bit confusing to use on your phone, but you can do it on a computer as well to get more analytics. And it tells you what the trending products are, what's working, what's not. It actually does advise you to go for trending products, because basically the more someone sees a product on the internet, the more likely they are to buy it. If you're the first person showing it and it's not got the wow factor, it's another bodysuit, or it's another bit of makeup, or it's another sweet, it's very like generalized product, you are going to struggle to believe it's different. So you need to keep seeing that same product to get those reviews, to be like, okay, it's convincing me that it's good, everyone's using it. And a lot of the time, these marketing campaigns are quite organic, because if a product's bad, not many people can lie in sales. Like, they can. That's a bit of a lie. But a lot of people can't. Some people are just really not good liars. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people will be like, oh my God, it's great. Look at it. It looks so good on. And you think, no, the Primark one you showed before looks better. So, you know, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, so a lot of... If you're new to TikTok Shop, get products that are trending, because people are more likely to buy it because they've seen it already and somebody else has done half the work for you. Make sure you've got good lighting. So like, this is really good lighting, but when I try and do this for products, I can't get my phone angle like this. I need like a better tripod for my phone. This is a proper camera. Now, also, when I lost my friend, it really messed with my uploads, you know, because I just couldn't attend to my phone. I had it on silent. I couldn't be on my phone. My phone was blowing up like, oh, I'm so sorry and all that. And I appreciate it. I really do. But sometimes you just need a bit of space. Like, sometimes I just need to grieve it and think about it. And I was in denial and I couldn't believe it and all this stuff. You know, I still feel a lot of those things now. And I couldn't scroll through TikTok, I couldn't go through any social media, and I really did lose something that was growing really, really well. And afterwards, like a few weeks after I tried to start posting again, it just all went back down to zero. You know, like, I wasn't selling anything for months. I wasn't getting the views, the traction, the likes, etc. And to be fair, it didn't bother me too much, because I thought, oh, maybe it was just like a chance thing, like maybe I accidentally went viral or whatever. Just delude myself, because I am delusional. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I started getting sent free products, like free samples and stuff. And then something really annoying happened. So like 3-4 companies sent me a product each that was like new, and I was like, I'll try it. And like, one of them I got for sample price, so it's cheaper price because it's a sample, was a mini microphone that I'm going to use to interview at like shows, festivals, out and about, etc., on holiday, whatever, for social media. And I was like, that's such a good idea, it's going to be good for my videos. And I did actually sell a few of them. I could have done better videos, but obviously, as you can tell if you find those videos, I'm just like, I'm so sad and I can't make content, please just buy this. And a couple of people actually did, and I fucking love you for that reason. But then I had another few products, and I got sent this, like, this sunglasses brand reached out to me, and they let me pick a pair of sunglasses, and they said, we're going to send you these if you can make a video wearing them, describing them, etc. I said, honey, I'll make 3 videos, all different, like minimum, and if it does well, I'll keep making the videos. And then they never had them in stock. So I tagged them in a video so it didn't fucking shadow ban, not shadow ban, like put a blacklist fucking marker on my account. Because basically, if you don't post within 7 days of receiving the item, it like basically blacklists your account, so you can't get free samples. So that was fucking annoying. So I had to post it without even having them in the video. And I got so much footage, and I messaged them every other week, like, when are you getting the sunglasses back in stock? Because they're so fucking nice. It's so annoying because I know people would actually love them, but can't post it. Well, I can post it, but there's no point in posting it because if I tag the product, it doesn't exist because it's not in stock. So that was fucking annoying. And I think that actually does have a negative effect on your account. I actually do think if you post something and it doesn't sell, I actually do think there's a chance it negatively affects it. My advice also, so back to what I was saying, make your videos very similar. Use decent lighting. Sometimes use filters. Find a filter you like. I try and go for most natural ones, so I use like the light foundation, but some people use like the freckle one, the princess one, which has like the eyeliner, like all sorts of like nice filters and that make you feel comfortable. But if you don't want them to look too fake or commercialized, use like quite a pulled back one. There's some like bold glamour which people like, but I just like using the light natural one because I don't usually wear makeup. I'm only wearing makeup now because I looked tired as fuck. Do you know, I hate my hair brown. I just can't afford to have it blonde. Anyway, so yeah, I want to sort of encourage you guys, if you do have over 1,000 followers, to use TikTok Shop because you do get commission. Commission's a bit shit, but the more videos you make, the more free stuff you're gonna get, and the more stuff you put out. Like, I'm hoping I can get the page to a point where like every couple of videos is a promo video, just being like, this is what I got. Not all of it you have to tag. Like, I'm literally gonna make, I'm not even a huge fashion person, but I'm gonna show like, this is the stuff I got from Shein, this is the stuff I get from Manier Devoir, like this. Like, I do like showing off my clothing because I always get complimented on it, and I think it's because my style is so unusual. Like, I wear tracksuits and trainers, which is so common, and then I wear fancy Manier Devoir outfits with a hint of Shein, which is just a weird combination to most people, but I am who I am. And I don't mind it. I like it. Comfy mixed with fancy mixed with poor. Do you know what I mean? I love poor clothes. They look so good. And they're cheap. They're not as cheap as they fucking used to be, though. Do you remember when Shein was like £1-2 for like a top? And now it's like £8.99 for a vest. Disgusting. But yeah, there are a lot of other things on there. Like, I saw a drone on there for like 20 quid. You know, like a drone with a camera. And I thought, for Alex's shows, that'd be fucking wicked. But, you know, if you have any questions about how to use TikTok Shop and that, let me know. Or if you have any extra advice, let me know. But yeah, you will get commission from it. You have to have 1,000 followers, and you have to post a certain amount of videos. I think you have to have like at least 1,000 views a week to be able to use it. So just post like a few videos a week that get 200 views each, and then combined you have 1,000 views. And yeah, I do get sent some free samples. A lot of it I buy because I want to get sent more free samples. Does that make sense? Because it's going to benefit my accounts, showing that I post stuff and it gets free samples. But yeah, the reason I said don't delete videos is because months ago I sold loads of stuff. Then not long after, I lost a friend and it plummeted my account. Didn't sell anything for months. Now some of my old videos are starting to sell stuff. Now, it's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Like, it wasn't selling anything at all, and now it started selling again, which is well cool. So that's why I say keep everything up, because you never know who's going to see your video. I think it's because one of my videos has now got like an American audience. So once it's got to America, then it's doing its round around America. And all, like, that's just what the statistics tell me. My advice on statistics, they're not 100% accurate. They're accurate-ish. Not that accurate, though. So I would use it as like a generalised thing. Like, my video, it's on like 5.1 million views. It still says in the statistics it's only got like 3 or 4 million views. And I'm like, that's wrong. But it does give you... Like, my audience, according to TikTok, is like 50-50 men and women. So I'm like, okay, that's not niche. Because that's like every gender. And I think it's like a huge portion of my audience is 18 to 25 and 25 to 34. I think 25 to 34 is only like 10% less to the 18 to 25, and then everything else is between like 10 and 20% of those ages. But yeah, most of my audience is around my age. So yeah, I hope that helps. Sorry this was a bit all over the place. But yeah, if you do have any questions, don't forget to leave a 5-star review, like this, subscribe. If you don't click the subscribe button, how are you going to know when I've done this again? If you don't already follow me on social media, go to @BurnMyMood podcast. Actually, no, I think it's just called Burn My Mood. Sorry. If you don't already, make sure you put a 5-star review in. Leave me some constructive criticism or just a nice message. That would be lovely. Tell me what you liked the most. Because I find it really easy to create content and talk more on the pod when I know what it is that you enjoy the most and what you want to hear more about. If you haven't already, leave 5 stars, download the episodes, like, subscribe, comment, share. If you share anything to your story, tag @podcast.j on Instagram or @BurnMyMood. I will reshare it and say thank you very personally. But yeah, that's all from me today. Was a bit chaotic this episode, but I just wanted to sum up my gratitude towards the other guests I've had on for my first series. I can't wait to release the next series already. I've got so many interviews booked in. But yeah, I thought I would just get the first series out there because everyone is getting so itchy for the series to come out. So I thought it's coming out early. Obviously it's actually a lot later than I anticipated, but you know, I had an abortion and then one of my friends died, so that really put a delay on things, you know. Life's a lot fucking harder than they say. I feel like there's so many things trying to stop me from doing this, because the reason I originally stopped is because one of my first friend died, and yeah, that was a year ago. So I'm so sorry that I'm just pouring this all out. But yeah, hopefully nothing can get that much worse. So hopefully I'll keep doing this. The reason I'm doing the episodes consecutively is so that you can binge watch. I prefer binge watching. I'm a Netflix girl. I thought it was a bit odd that I was doing it once a week, pressuring myself, stressing myself out, when truthfully, I would rather just binge watch it, you know? And then, you know, we can come back to it, so we don't just keep, like, I don't want to put episodes out every week and then someone lose one interest in one episode. Whereas if you watch every episode, then you can sort of decide as a summary if you like it or not. Come on, we all love a bit of background sound to sleep to. So if you're not a huge fan, do me a massive favour and just play it while you're going to bed at night, honestly. And there's this thing you can do on your phone where you set it to like to go into sleep mode on Spotify in 45 minutes or an hour. So do that, and then you've listened to most of the episode, and it's helped you go to sleep. You're welcome. If it's too interesting, I'm sorry, you're going to have to listen to it. I also do have this on YouTube, if you're not obviously already watching through the camera. I don't know how to use YouTube, so if anyone wants to teach me or give me some pointers, that would be fabulous. And yeah, but I can't wait to do my solo series as well. Before I release the guest series, I will be doing solo series first, just because I can record a lot of it by myself. I don't have to fit into somebody else's schedule. It doesn't cost me any money, and it hasn't actually cost me any money doing the guest series. Well, it has a little bit. Yeah, it has actually. I don't know why I seem to forget how much money I fucking spent on it. But, you know, I am just talking for the sake of it. Yeah, also, let's not forget, how good is my new intro and outro sound? I love a bit of garage. Ready?
For the sheer scope of
Thank you
grief
so much.
and wasted
Speak to you all
human
later.
potential, we
Goodbye.
have a moral obligation to understand the ultimate reasons why